Hey, this is MoNev 360. Welcome everybody. Welcome all my hip hop heads. Yes. All right. What we doing right now is we doing episode 4 of the Hip Hop Headz podcast. And that's Head spelled with a Z on the end. All right. And the name of this episode is the most anticipated rap albums 2020. You know, so the most anticipated albums that are coming out this year, the albums that I want to hear, the albums that you want to hear, you know. So we'll see which of these predictions, if you will, come true and how they sound and all of those things, all the expectations that we have for them. So what I want to do right now is what I do on all of my videos, and that's just to let you know, if you like dope beats, if you like dope rhymes, and you like discussing hip-hop culture, please consider subscribing. If you're on YouTube, you know, this is going to be broadcasted to YouTube, but it may be on some other mediums in the future too. But please consider subscribing and clicking on the notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos. All right? So if you're watching this live, you know, I am trying to get to 500 subscribers, and then from that to 1,000 subscribers as fast as I can, you know. So please help me out with that and subscribe, you know, share this out, like it, all those types of things. Also, you'll probably see at the top of your screen, probably on the right side, upper right hand side of your screen, StreamYard is who is helping me with streaming this out to you guys. So definitely check them out. They do give, if you do, with the link that I'll be providing, it will help me out and give me credit on the bill for like upgrading with this and using the paid version of this platform. So, and that's something that you can do as well. If you're out there and you're a live streamer, you can share it with your friends as well and get that same benefit. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and get into it. All right, the first one, and also just to let y'all know real quick, the information, the source information that I got this from is from Hip Hop DX and also from Double XL. So shout out to them. Starting out with Drake. Drake is coming out with a new album, you know, possibly. And he had a Rap Radar interview where he was talking about that he was working on new music. So, I mean, there's a possibility that that's going to be coming out this year. And also, you know, of course, he's always going to be rapping and singing on his albums. We should always expect that. Production, Usual Suspects, Noah, you know, who's 40, you know, it's his producer 40. Boy Wonder. So Drake, we know Drake gonna give us something that we like. I don't always love everything that Drake does, but you know, he's one of those people that I'm gonna listen out for, and I'm at least say, let me listen to it, let me listen to some of the songs, see what I like, you know, what I don't like. But yeah, Drake is that dude, so I know he coming with something. All right, so Cardi B is next. Okay, and I'm gonna be doing a little bit of reading. I don't want to do too much reading, but I do want to give y'all some of the information. Like if you haven't seen the blog post or whatever like that. But Cardi B is up next, and you know, I've told you a lot about how I definitely love that Invasion of Privacy album. You know, so she's coming out with something new, and right now, it's reported that it may be called Tiger Woods, because she had joked last year that her album should be called Tiger Woods because Tiger Woods' great comeback, you know, to golf and all those types of things, and his winnings. I mean, he just shows that he's a champion. That's something that's perpetual now. You know, you gotta look at him as like the the Michael Jordan of golf. But I digress. But I know that Cardi B is gonna come with it. She has so much of a brash delivery, so much aggressiveness in her voice. She's she powered through, and she tells us the underdog story, but she's not the underdog now. She got Pepsi commercials and everything. So it'll be interesting to hear what she has to tell us about what's happened in the past 2 years of her life, or past year and a half of her life, or whatever. So next up, we got Kendrick Lamar, and it's been almost 3 years now since his last album. So we're definitely looking forward to what Kendrick is gonna give us. And what they're saying is that sources say that he has some rock, a little bit of rock influence coming up for this new album, and that'll be interesting, because if you take notice, none of Kendrick's albums sound the same. Every time he always gives us something different. The last time it was kind of like a little bit more trap, but he still gave us the lyrics and the concepts like he always does. To Pimp a Butterfly was like kind of jazzy. Good Kid, Mad City, that had a different sound to it, than the other two albums. So, I'm definitely excited to see what he's gonna give us. All right, now going on. Next up, we got J. Cole. We've been waiting for this. This one is reportedly gonna be called The Fall Off. So coming off of a great 2019 with everything that he did with Dreamville, like all his new artists, everybody that he put on the Revenge of the Dreamers 3 compilation album. I'm really looking forward to what he's gonna give us. I mean, I love Middle Child, and I think he's gonna give us a great album. And my question for you in the comment section, if what you're listening to this on or watching has a comment section, I want to know from you, what hip hop albums are you looking forward to, or who would you like to come out with a new album this year? Let me know in the comments below. Okay, as we continue on, we got Joyner Lucas. Now, I'll say, I've never heard any of Joyner Lucas's albums, but every time I check him out, every time I see a new video or hear him on a feature, like, he always kills it. I mean, he gives you, the wordplay fast, rapping fast and all those types of things. He's got it. He's got the skills. He always proves that. So I'm really looking forward to hearing his next album. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be good, and I'm gonna go ahead and give it a listen in its entirety when it comes out. I know it's gonna be dope. I think they're saying that it's gonna be called ADHD. All right. Pusha T got something new coming out. He did drop the album in 2018, Daytona, and that was a stellar album. Even though it technically was an EP, it's very short, but that was very, very dope. Kanye started digging in the crates again on that album, so hopefully we'll hear something like that on this new one. And so like Kanye West is supposed to be producing this whole album as well. So that looks like it's gonna be good. And it's also saying that he described it as unorthodox hip hop with a bit of a groove, and it says that it may include contributions from Pharrell Williams and Tyler the Creator. I mean, two dope, artists. So we know that we're in for something good. That no one can rap about dope, as dope as Pusha T. All right. And we just talked about Kanye West. Kanye West might come out with another one. That'll be real quick. Jesus is King 2. Now, I'll be honest and say, you know, outside of probably like Follow God, I didn't like Jesus is King all that much. You know, I like the idea of the album, but I felt like some of the execution could have been better, you know, to be nice about it. But that doesn't mean that I don't give Kanye West the benefit of the doubt, because he's a great artist and I've loved a lot of music in his catalog. So I know that his potential of what he can do. So there's no reason for me to speculate that this next album I'm not gonna love, because we never know. We never know what Kanye's gonna do. Okay, this one right here, this is pretty interesting right here. All right. I talked about these guys in my last video, and that's well, this one is talking about Westside Gunn and Madlib. You know, I talked about the, you know, collective Griselda, but out of that collective, Westside Gunn is coming out with another album, and let me tell you who he's pairing up with for this album. All right, it's Madlib. So I mean, we already know what Madlib can do. We already know how Madlib digs in the crates. So, you know, even though I'm not the biggest fan of Westside Gunn's rapping, I want to hear this because it'll be really interesting to see how he sounds on these beats. I mean, I can't see this album not being like very ill, you know. So I'm really looking forward to that one. All right, next up we got Run the Jewels. Run the Jewels 4. Okay. And you know who that is. That's Killer Mike and LP. Yeah. And it says here that plans for Run the Jewels 4 was first announced in 2017. Okay. And then like a year later, LP, he said that the group was working on some of the grimiest, rawest record that they possibly can. And so that has me hyped right there. Okay, and it says that Rick Rubin is going to be working on this album in some kind of way as well. So that's some good news too. I mean, that sounds like a good fit because their music is kind of like out the box, you know, like LP has an unorthodox production style. So I know that's gonna be dope. I'm really looking forward to that. All right. Next up we got Kid Cudi. And they're saying that Kid Cudi's new material, his new album is going to be called Intergalactic, with Inter being spelled with an E instead of an I. All right. And if Kids See Ghosts is any indication of what Kid Cudi has in store for us this year, then I want to hear this album. I know it's gonna be amazing. Okay, next up, we got Black Star. All right. Now, this one I was shocked. This one I was shocked to see. It's like I don't even know if I really even believe this right here. That Black Star has come out with another album after how many years? After like what? 22 years. It was 1998 when Mos Def and Talib Kweli Our Black Star came out. So, I mean, I'm telling you, this with the right production, you know, them two together, this could be monstrous. You know, like I'm talking like album of the year status. So fingers crossed. I hope this album comes out. Okay. Remember when Kanye West first came out and he like had everything already planned out of what the first, the second, the third, and the fourth album was gonna be? You know, I think it was the fourth album. The fourth album was gonna be Good Ass Job, okay? But that apparently got scrapped. But now what I'm seeing here is that he's dusting off that idea and repackaging it as a joint album with Chance the Rapper. Okay, so that alone has me interested in what this album could sound like. I mean, we know the caliber of Kanye West, and we know the potential and what Chance the Rapper has shown us over the years. So putting them two together, that's got to be magic. Okay, Tierra Whack. Tierra Whack has the wrong last name because she's far from whack. She murdered that XXL freshman freestyle, and you know that I love that 15-minute video that she had. I can't remember what the name of the song was. I think it was actually that it was supposed to be the whole album or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. But she's just super, super creative. I mean, we haven't seen a level of creativity as far as with the women in hip hop since Missy Elliott. I mean, on the level of what Tierra Whack is doing, like, so that's why I'm excited about new work from her. You know, I really want to see what she's gonna do this time. I think she's gonna really wow us. Megan Thee Stallion, and it says her album is going to be called Sugar, and if I'm not mistaken, Sugar might be another one of her aliases, because she started out first and she came out with a mixtape that was called Tina Snow. So that was supposed to be like one of her like personalities or whatever, one of her characters, and from what I read somewhere, that's what Sugar is too. It's gonna be another character. But I really liked Fever, and she billed that as a mixtape, but it was like an album. I mean, with the blaxploitation cover of the album, I really loved that album cover. It was really, really dope, you know. So and I thought that she had some really, really good songs on that album too. I mean, it's a different kind of music for my taste as far as subject matter wise, but the way that she flows, like, I can tell that she is an MC, even though, you know, it's to that it's got that southern influence, you know. She's from Houston, you know, so she is definitely excuse me guys, I had to get some coughs out. Apologize about that, but yeah, she really is influenced by, you know, 3 6 Mafia and people like that. You know, she loves Juicy J, you know, so you can hear that in her music, and I know that this album is going to be good too. Okay, next up we got Lecrae, Restoration. Now Lecrae, you know, I mean, if you want to use the term gospel rapper, that's what Lecrae would be categorized as. But I know that Lecrae is one of those people who's kind of like doesn't really love that label, the same way that rappers who are female don't like to be called female rappers or femcs. those types of things like that. They want people to appreciate the music just for what it is and not to try to describe it and not try to put it in a box, you know. So that's one thing that I've always liked about Lecrae, because Lecrae brings the skills, you know. So and what he's this album, Lecrae Restoration, he talked about it, and he's quoted as saying, "God has done some restorative work in my life over the last few years, and I've gone through a lot of turmoil and pain." So he said, and this is something that he told the Christian Broadcasting Network. He said, a lot of that will be shown, and people will see that some relationships have been restored, some perspectives have been restored, and my faith has been restored. So, you know, I'm really looking forward to hearing that album as well. I've heard another one of his albums before. I can't remember. My memory fails me right now. I can't remember what the name of that album was. I think it might have even been a double album. But he's really dope, and I think this album will be something really good too. And speaking of restoration, I talked about this before too, but I definitely want to let y'all know again, or this is your first time seeing me. I have an album that's actually called The Restoration, and my rap name is just like on this show, Monef 360, and my album is about restoring souls, you know, restoring faith, and it's about restoring hip hop music. Maybe not necessarily the culture, but restoring the hip hop music that we grew up listening to, that we grew up loving. So I'm putting those two things together, and I'll have a link in the description where you can go on Bandcamp and listen and check out that album and support your boy like that. You know what I'm saying? All right, and last up, it's saying here that Conway the Machine, who is out of, you know, Griselda Records, is coming out with an album, and it's called God Don't Make Mistakes. All right, Conway the Machine, like I think right now he might be my favorite with out of Griselda, with Benny the Butcher running a close second. You know, I mean, and it says here that he told Hip Hop DX in October that the album is a change from his previous projects. He said it'll contain different concepts on every song, and it's going to have some surprise features as well. And of course, production is going to stay in-house. It's going to be primarily from Derringer and Beat Butcher. Okay? And he's quoted as saying, "This album is the growth and maturity of Conway, the artist and the person." So that's why I'm anticipating that album. Okay. And that was it real quick. Just giving you, I think I was like 16 albums that are people are thinking that are rumored to come out this year. And I want to let y'all know that on the next video that's coming up is the best hip hop groups of all time. And just real quick, what I'm defining as a group as anyone that's anytime it's more than one. So two or more people for me consist of a group. So that's gonna be very, very interesting. I think I'm gonna try to do a top 20. You know, I'm not always able to do a top 20, but I'm pretty sure I'll be able to do a top 20 with this one. So I'm gonna go through and, you know, whittle it down and get it down to 20. All right, and there's a couple of videos on your screen right now. So one of them is more than likely a podcast episode. I think I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put the first two. I'm gonna put the greatest hip hop producers of all time, and I'm gonna put the greatest MCs of all time on your screen. So thank y'all for watching, and y'all have a great day.